Hey guys, what's going on? It's Chris from the Grid Hi-Fi. We're out here at the Asylum checking out the brand new Sony launch of their new ES AVRs. We're going to let you guys know all about them. We're going to do it right after the intro.
Hey, Chris. All right. Hey, thanks for joining us in Houston here, man. We had a great time having you over in Austin last week for the product launch, and now we're out here actually working with these receivers in the field, setting them up, doing some training, and getting ready for these to start shipping here in early March. So in Austin, we kind of gave you the deep run through of the theater that we built and how we designed and engineered that to give us that great sound. But what we want to really focus on today is the electronics and the hardware that was running that 13-channel system. So today here in Austin, or Houston, I should say, forget where we're at sometimes, we have the AZ7000. This is our flagship AVR. This is a 13-channel, 13.2 AVR with 150 watts of power. This is an all-new AV design. We did about the only thing that really fully carries over from our previous generation is kind of that physical industrial design, where we really like the nice clean look to it. We've got the faceplate to cover everything up. But this is actually about over an inch taller than our previous generation. It's a massively heavier receiver, weighing in at almost 50 pounds. And a big part of that is the power supply that's in this amplifier. We've got a massive power transformer back here running this receiver. The enclosure for this is a box frame and beam chassis. The bottom plate, the side plates, are 200% thicker than our previous version. When we're taking a look through the run-through, I'll actually flip one of these over for you, and you can see how thick that plate is to give us a really stable platform for the amplifiers. We're using all solid-state discrete high-current amplifiers. These are Class AB, no digital amps, no chip amps here. Just that really good solid-state design that's going to give you a ton of linear power and be very dynamic, very natural, very accurate in its amplifier performance. Starting with the preamp or the amplifier board in here, again, all 13 channels, discrete power. The heat sinks in here are actually really impressive, how it's designed with a beading on the heat sink to help. It kind of looks like a sine wave, but it actually is helped to prevent resonance from occurring in the amplifier fins, the cooling system, to make it a very quiet, resonance-free system. We have discrete custom-built preamplifier stages on the. We're not using a cascading design. We've got discrete channels for the entire system. We have our video section, which is completely isolated. Networking section, all completely isolated for an extremely low noise floor and just a great performance receiver. Now, when it comes to calibration and setup, we've got a pretty unique system here. So we have a 13-channel calibration or amplification here, and we need to be able to calibrate that accurately for the entire room. So this is actually our microphone stand that comes included with the receiver, not the tripod. You do have a tripod sold separately here, but on our microphone stand, it actually is measuring at multiple locations. So the stereo calibration mic sets into the tripod stand here in the first position to measure the width of the room, left to right. Then we put it in the bottom position to measure the room front to rear. It then uses these 4 locations right here to do a 3D room modeling, so it's measuring all of our height, all of our width, and depth of the room. We then take these room measurements and combine those with the values that you will plug into the receiver. When you're setting the receiver up, you have to enter in the ceiling height. You enter up in the distance from your screen to your seating position. You'll enter in the distance from your ear to the floor. And then also you'll enter the distance from the center of screen to the floor. So it's going to use all of those values combined with the data that it's recording from the calibration to do a very accurate room modeling to make sure that all of your surrounds are very precisely placed. And with the 360 SSM spatial sound mapping, we can work around imperfect speaker placement. So if your rears are too close together or too far apart, we can actually do speaker relocation and phantom speakers, where it will relocate the sound, share sound among speakers, and give you that detailed multi-channel sound even in an imperfect placement. Okay, so checking out the back of the 7000 here, this is there's a whole lot going on. We have connected for this demo system. We are running a 7.1 system. So we've got our 7 speakers, main speakers here, our fronts, our centers, our surrounds, and our surround backs. I'm not using any of my height channels, and we do actually have 1, 2, 3 sets of height terminals. A unique thing about the receiver here on, as we work our way up in the lineup, we do get more and more expansion capability, but our many of our terminals are completely reassignable. So depending upon your configuration, whether you're using things like a dual center channel configuration or our center channel lift with your height channels, maybe you're using zone 2 speakers, bi-amplifying, speaker B, we have a lot of different ways to reconfigure the speaker terminals to match up with your specific configuration. We are also have plenty of audio inputs. We have full pre-outs. We have our 4K 120, 4K 120 or 8K inputs, all fully supporting ALLM, auto low latency, all of our VRR, all of that is supported right out of the box. And then we have dual zone HDMI outputs, so we can run 2 systems simultaneously from the dual zone HDMI video. We do have support analog and digital connections for your 2-channel sources, 12-volt triggers, IR remote input and output, and for that control we have our IP network port on it, our Wi-Fi for IP control, or our RS-232 for our custom control interface.
Hey, why do you guys have a Samsung TV over here?
Oh, Samsung TV. Oh man, that hurts me a little bit. So, so we are using, actually with the TV we have this compared with is our X95K. And you'll see one other unique connection on here, and that is center sync out. The S center out. This is a 1/8 inch mini jack connection right here. And what this is doing is this is pairing up with the TV, using the TV as a center channel support. So we've got a matching center sync input on the back side of the TV. All of our TVs support really good audio quality, so we can actually use the TV as a standalone center, or my favorite configuration is we are using it to support our center channel speaker in our multi-channel system to give it better center channel lift and focus. So on this system here, we're actually going through the entire lineup and showing some different features. So in this station, we're showing the AZ1000ES, which is the entry level in the ES lineup. This is a 100 watt per channel, 7.2 receiver. It has 2 4K 120 HDMI inputs. It has dual zone HDMI video output. It has a multi-zone audio on it as well. We are pairing this one up also for our Works with Sonos connected capability. All of the ES AVRs have Works with Sonos functionality, so we can assign multiple Sonos players here. I've got actually 2 Sonos players connected to this AVR for my main zone and my secondary zone. So here on the back panel of the AZ1000, again, we get those 7.2 speaker terminals, so we can do any combination of 7 speakers. Also, all of these receivers work with our wireless speakers or our wireless subwoofers, so we've got a couple of different connection options there. A little bit more trimmed down on this one versus the 7000. We do not have the full pre-outs, but we do still have that multi-zone. We have our sub outputs and that great HDMI switching, really solid and robust for the video performance. So our next step up is the AZ3000. This is our larger format chassis. So as you can see on this one, this is a significantly larger receiver than the 1000. It gets that larger power supply. It gives us 9 channels of amplification at 120 watts per channel on all channels. We pick up those 2 additional 4K 120 8K HDMI inputs on the back panel. And also, again, this is where we start to get into our frame and beam chassis design. So let me kind of, if you don't know if you can kind of see some of this in here, but we've got a really large power supply section right over here. We have our isolated video board. We have all of our amplifier stages across the front. So it is a very well sectioned off receiver, again, very low noise floor, very accurate amplification. Did you see any of that in there? Okay. So as we swing this around and take a look at the back panel, Man, this thing is heavy. We get a few more inputs on here. We have 9 channels of speaker terminals. We pick up even more connectivity with some of our triggers. We pick up a few more analog connections, and again, we go from 2 4K inputs to 4 4K inputs. When we flip this one over here, and again, kind of take a look at the underside, you'll see some unique things here. Our feet, the screw holes are off center. And that's actually because we did a special ribbing design in the foot that makes this very much a noise isolating foot. Plus the offset screw helps to eliminate resonance and noise from going through the receiver. And then I don't know if you can see it through the side here, but this bottom plate here, extremely thick. It's 100% thicker than our previous generation to make this a very rigid chassis design. So, and then our next step up from the 3000 is going to the 5000 series. The 5000 is going from a 9 channel to 11 channel. We're going from 120 watts to 130 watts. We pick up one additional HDMI input here on the front panel. And we, we pick up the additional center channel capability of dual center channel options. And we pick up the future update for DTS-X Pro. When we take a look at the back panel here, we'll see quite a few more connections on those analog, because not only are we supporting 11 channels of speaker terminals, we also have full 11 channels of pre-outs to support external amplifiers.
All right, guys, that's going to conclude the Sony event over here at the Asylum. Big shout out to these guys coming out, setting this stuff up. We have the gentleman right in the back. They probably don't want to be seen because they're wanted by the law, but they're going ahead and tearing this thing down. We're going to actually be doing a lot more projectors, TVs, AVRs on this channel. So if you guys want to subscribe, make sure you guys do that so that you guys don't miss any of these videos. If you guys want to buy any of this stuff, you guys know to go to your #1 trusted source, Grid Hi-Fi. You guys can check us out in the description, as well as gridhifi.com. We'd love to have you. Reach out, pick up the phone. You can actually get your home theater spec'd by me if you'd like. So that's all I got for you guys. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. See you next time.